What's up, YouTube? My name is Arthur, aka That Indie Comic Book Guy. If you're new to the channel, like, subscribe, do all that stuff that's going to help out the algorithm, bring more people to this channel. That way I can continue to share my thoughts and opinions, which may trigger at least one of you. Now, today we're going to talk about Luke Cage. It's the 50th anniversary of Luke Cage. Why isn't anyone celebrating this? Like 50 years. Luke Cage first appeared in Luke Cage Hero for Hire #1 way back in 1972. So, what does Marvel Comics do to celebrate this milestone? Nothing. They had a new series by Ho Chi Anderson, rotating team of artists for this 3-issue miniseries. I don't know why each issue had to have a different artist, but the book kept getting pushed back and back and back and back. Marvel ultimately canceled the book. So the one thing Marvel was going to do to celebrate the 50th anniversary of Luke Cage is no more. And you would think that was the end of the story, right? People got curious, like, what is going on?
This is my co-host. If you're new to the channel, I sometimes have a co-host. Sometimes the co-host tastes very, very good. Sometimes it tastes a little like Blue Moon. Sometimes it might taste like Budweiser or Corona. Corona Light. Trying to work on this.
Back to Luke Cage. So, the book was canceled. The 3-issue miniseries celebrating all things Luke Cage, it was canceled. Now, what was this book about? We currently live in the age of woke. That's how I describe the current state of comics, the age of woke. Where everything has to be about politics, social commentary, something like that. Whatever the case may be. So, surprise, surprise, this book was about a corrupt white police officer killing an innocent black man. Wow, we never heard that one before. Have you? You heard that one before? What about you? What about you? Corrupt white cop kills an innocent black man. Wow, they really, really, really tried with this one. Kind of like those milestone books, like you literally have Icon who can punch planets alongside Superman fighting neighborhood thugs. Like really, there was no creative effort put into this new revival of milestone media. None whatsoever. None. Like in Static, they literally had a guy outside of his house like, I'm gonna huff and puff and blow your house down. Really? This really happened. Static, issue 1. Crazy. Back to Luke Cage. So people were like, what's going on? Why was this book canceled? We get no one really wants to read this story, but do you really have to cancel it? David Walker, who his Luke Cage series was canceled a couple years ago, it lasted 10 whole issues. It's not David Walker's fault. I mean, this is Luke Cage we're talking about. He's had many ongoing series, many miniseries. They all get canceled for whatever reason. So David Walker chimed in, and he pretty much said what I was thinking. Low pre-orders. So when those pre-orders on a comic book are low, it kind of gives the publisher a gauge of how the rest of the series is going to be. If issue 1 pre-orders are low, there's going to be a 20 to 40% drop for issue 2. So if issue 1, I'm just going to make up some numbers, the pre-orders were 10,000. The pre-orders for issue 2 may be about 7,000 or 8,000 and so forth. That's how it works. So if those pre-orders for issue 1 were that low, as David Walker pointed out, Marvel would probably just go ahead and make this a digital-only series. But then he said something that's interesting. They will cancel the physical release and just release a digital comic. You know, it happens. But what he said was interesting was unless Marvel or DC had a problem with the content. That was interesting. That made people speculate what is really going on with this book. Again, we live in the age of woke when it comes to comic books. So by now, the last 5 years, people are used to the politics in comics. They're used to the social commentary, all of that good stuff. People are used to it. People are used to religion, race, and sexuality in comics within this current age of comics. You have a whole gang of YouTubers who are obsessed with this. They make countless videos talking about, oh, wokeness and, oh, social justice warriors and blah, 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 blah. Like, there's other subjects to talk about. Remember when Booth Babes was a conversation? Is that still a thing? I haven't been to a convention since the pandemic. So, are Booth Babes still a thing? Like, I don't know. There's other subjects. We can talk about Psylocke. Remember people used to be on the computer like, man, if Psylocke was real, man, I'll hit that. Let's go back to that. Oh, we can't? Me Too movement? Even with a fictional character? Oh, well. So, it is what it is. Meanwhile, He-Man's still running around shirtless. Speaking of shirtless, this all segues back to Luke Cage. Luke Cage is a byproduct of the blaxploitation movement. I personally have never been a fan of Luke Cage because he was just there to be the outspoken black guy who half the time was shirtless. Look at my muscles. That was Luke Cage. Now, they made some major changes to the character to move him beyond that stereotypical black guy that fights in the hood with a heart of gold. They made him the leader of the Avengers. He was a member of the Fantastic Four. He was a member of the Thunderbolts. Now, when he led the Thunderbolts, it fit well with his character because he was sent to prison for a crime he didn't commit. And here he is in charge of criminals who are seeking redemption. That fit his character perfectly. Way more than his time as an Avenger, where he was a leader in name only and really didn't do any leading.
Like, he literally had to borrow $1 to pay for Avengers Mansion when Tony Stark was going to sell it to him. So, that's embarrassing. Broke black man. Broke black man. That's Luke Cage.
Then people also got mad when he married a white woman, had a biracial child, and haven't looked at a black woman since then. People felt the way about that. So maybe that's why people were like, yeah, we don't care about the 50th anniversary of Luke Cage. It is what it is. Now, my personal opinion, again, I've never been a big fan of this character. He was just kind of there. But I do recognize that they attempted to do something different by having him on these teams, having him get married, and evolve him from this hero for hire, man of the community type persona. That was until the Netflix show. What happened with the Netflix show, huh? Ooh, that's good. After the Netflix show, which put him back in Harlem, back to being a hero for hire, back to being well, he actually had a lot of sex in that show with a white woman, Jessica Jones, who in the comic they're married, or whatever, but there's really no chemistry between those two. And they never even really got to the hero for hire part in the show. But after the show came out, they put him back in these trappings of being a man of the community. Despite your powers and experience, we're going to put you back in this little box of just defending Harlem. So with this Luke Cage City of Fire miniseries, which is, again, was about a corrupt group of cops killing an innocent black man, people, like, been there, done that. We got the t-shirt. We cried because that's happens in real life, like, all the time. We don't want to focus on that when we want some escapism from real life. That's not giving me the escapism I want. This is why this milestone revival has failed, because it's not giving people the escapism that they want. Where is the creativity? Where is it? I don't know. Anyway, let me know what you think of this Luke Cage City of Fire book being canceled? What do you think of the Luke Cage 50th anniversary pretty much being ignored? Why has it been ignored? Do people really care about this character? Do you care about this character? What would be a good Luke Cage story going forward, in your opinion? Let me know. Anyway, like, subscribe. I'm the Indie Comic Book Guy. I'll see you in the next video. Peace twice.